Day to all of you. Education, that's the main feature that we'll be talking about for the next 10 minutes, is actually one of the principal elements that inspire people, individual communities, the whole world. So basically, in order to inspire people through education, there are so many different variables that we need as an inspirer. Those who are involved in the inspirational economy need to focus. Let me start with a few questions that is extremely important for our young generations for the next few 50, 100, 150 years time to come. Why some talented people, probably the most smart people, fail when there is a sudden change in their life, when they move from one situation to another, change their neighborhood, and so on. At the same time, can I read someone else's mind? How in the world I don't feel ticklish when I tickle myself? However, when I tickle you or tickle you, you feel the ticklish because something else is coming out of the world, right? So there are so many different things that we need to focus. And sometimes looking at things that, oh, I've seen that situation before. Did it come 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or last night, or in my dream? It happens. So for the next picture, I want you to shout, everybody, shout with the number of squares in this coming picture within 2 seconds. Are you ready?
Yes. 21. 21.
Some say 16, 17, 21, 36, 25. Everybody is correct. However, everybody is looking at the picture in different point of view. Some of you said 15 because of the you cut this into pieces, so there are 16. Some look at it the big square, which is made it 17. Some looked at the 4 squares as a whole square. So there are so many different ways. That's why it's extremely important that we come together. Inspirational economy is not individual things, it's a collective. We need to change the whole society. And in order to do that, we need to do few exercises among ourselves, whether in education, in industry, in banking sector, anywhere basically it can be done. So few inspirational in education, basically, some skills that we need to focus as in the education sector in order to inspire students, inspire the community. There are a few things that we need to think of a critical thinking through brainstorming, for example. Create a solution from nowhere. You can think out of the box through so many different ideas. The most important problem that I feel, there's a problem between the older generation like me and the young generation like these wonderful people here, because they don't sometimes sit together and see why I don't feel comfortable in that particular class of a professor giving me a lecture for 1 hour. I will, متى يخلص هالمحاضرة المللة, for example, until that is done. Why? Because young generation want problem solving. New education is based on problem solving rather than gaining knowledge. Knowledge now it's available everywhere. You can even Google it. Science index, so many things that you can basically acquire through brainstorming. So, therefore, sometimes we underestimate even our kids like a 2-year-old. 2-year-old, the whole brain is completed. Completed within 2 years of age, the brain is completed. And if you look at the brain itself, it has so many different chambers. Chambers of phone skills, and if you don't use that skill, you may diminish that. You have gossips, you have some physics, maybe chocolate, love and romance, chocolate lovers. I know many people love to talk, gossiping, and so on. These are all compartments in our brain that focus and inspire new ideas when you are under stress or in risk or in a crisis. New ideas comes when you are under so much stress, you want to find a solution. And that's basically the whole brain of a mankind is completed within 1 or 2 years. However, maybe it doesn't have electrochemical cells, or which we call electromagnetic chambers, or the scientific word is neurons that connects all these. At the age of 25, 26-year-old, some neurons can be lost and eventually can be renovated through ideas, through reading, through exploring, through brainstorming, and so on. And even young children can determine the basic emotions of individuals. You can tell basically what kind of emotion in this picture, or this emotion. What does this? Ashwa. Or that one, what does that mean? Or this. Can you tell the difference between these basic features? Even a smile, you can tell the difference between fake smile or true smile. What is the main feature in your face that tells you that he or she is smiling? Which feature? What feature in the face can... Eyes is not the lips, for example, right? And you can probably see some of the features that you can see even with kids. And can you tell the difference between fake and true smile? What's the first one? Is it true smile? Actually, this is a fake smile. You don't focus on the lips. It's the eyes. As Chet said, it's the eyes. And that can be experienced through basically experiences, emotions, and so on. And you can definitely tell that this is a fake smile. Right? So basically, it can be understood through experience. And one way to understand for example, the concept through the mind, how our mind works, how to initiate our kids for a better education. That's a very important thing that we need to understand how the mind works. Can I have a volunteer for 1 minute? Volunteer, 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 volunteer. Yes, please, come over here. Yes, please. Can you shout the colors? Don't read the words. I want you to shout the color. Okay? That's okay. Okay, you can bring the mic. Quickly, quickly. That's not included in my presentation. Delete 1 second, minute. Okay, so can you tell me, I will focus on one color. You tell me the color.
Not the word.
Not the word. Yes, the color. What's the color? What's the color? Okay, what's the color?
Blue.
What's the color? What's the color?
Orange.
What's that color?
Red.
What's this color?
Black.
What is this color?
Green.
Okay, thank you very much. What you notice, there's some kind of hesitation. You notice there's hesitation because she is focusing. You must be majoring in some liberal arts, maybe Arabic studies or something. What's your major? Arts. Oh, English. I can tell just by asking the question because of the hesitation, because our brain that consists of 2 parts, basically focusing on the right hand and the left. And the right and left was basically focusing the right basically on colors, drawing, music, romance, poems, writing stories like what we're gonna read tomorrow for storytellers, stay tuned tomorrow. Or the left, for engineering, for example, engineering people will focus on the left part of the brain, which focuses on numbers. They don't like music, but they have numbers, and they want to do some calculations based on calculus and so on. So that's basically, even our eyes does not really reflect the true picture. It's the brain that modify and change and describe and interpret whatever the picture is. So that's why our eyes, from those who are in the basic science, knows that our naked eyes see only the wavelength between 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers, which is considered a visible region. So that's basically the whole idea. There are a few conclusions that we need to draw, that in order to inspire people, you have to know how the brain works, and in addition, to give that brain a few incentive that basically increases the inspiration of that particular things. And these are available, readily available for you. I downloaded already to the website. Please feel free, and if you have any questions, so in order to inspire people, it's very important to get together, brainstorming, and give them the chance to inspire others, as well as using some solutions that is in different format, like incentives. There's a movie I wanted to show you, but it's important that self-acceptance is important, and where's Mohammed Baksh? Sport is very important things for our kids, generation, all ages that you have to do. And so in order to get a inspirational education, it's very important that we release our talents, expand our perceptions, encourage the creativity among our children, and never underestimate anybody, especially in your school, because we are looking at different aspects, and the chairman is asking me to shut up.
Actually, I applied